One of the biggest problems I see, people who are trying to build a business, who are getting in the business, are trying to scale to 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month, they don't know how to spend their time in a good way. I have faced the same problem myself and I see so many people facing it. If you get this thing right, you're able to double, triple, or even 5x the results that you are getting without increasing the time you spend working. If you are trying to build a business, you are trying to build an agency, any kind of a business, if you just feel that you could be getting a bit more out of your time, this is an extremely important video for you. Like I mentioned, we're going to be actually talking about how to double, triple, or even 5x your productivity and get rid of procrastination and all of the things that don't matter in your life in 3 simple steps. Before we get into it, I want you to imagine for a moment the 24 hours of your day are like 24 golden coins. Each coin is precious, each coin is invaluable, each coin is something that you can never get back. That's time. But how many of us can say we are spending these golden coins wisely? Most entrepreneurs often feel like they are in this huge worldwide casino of distractions. Social media notifications chirping like slot machines, every new online course promises a jackpot, and the constant influx of information feels like a confusing game of poker where the rules keep changing after every hand. And the tragic truth of this is that many end up gambling away their golden hours and their golden small coins, chasing after shiny objects and getting lost in the deafening noise. Here's where also psychology gives us a clue. Humans are wired for novelty, and in today's digital age, that very trait can be our downfall. It can cause a crazy amount of damage to your life and business. The dopamine hits from every new notification that blinks on your phone, the urgent emails, every trending video makes us feel productive, but in reality, they are stealing away our most productive golden hours and all the golden coins that we have left, the ones that we can never get back. But what if I told you that success doesn't need a 24/7 grind? What if you could strike gold in just a fraction of those 24 hours? Actually hit a jackpot at the casino. The secret lies in understanding and harnessing the power of high leverage tasks. By identifying and focusing solely on these tasks, you optimize the golden coins of time. Instead of scattering your coins aimlessly, you invest them, ensuring a profitable return. And you know that when you put this coin in the slot machine and you pull it, you're gonna actually get a return. Through the golden hours principle, we'll dive deep into not just spending, but actually strategically investing our hours. It's not about working harder, but actually working smarter. And by the end of this video, you'll not only reclaim your golden hours and get all of that valuable time back, but you'll also discover the path to becoming a time-rich entrepreneur, because that's what it's all about. The time is the most valuable thing in the whole world. More valuable than experiences, more valuable than money, connections, network, anything, because you can never get time back. And this is exercise that I'm going to be going through with you. Every single time when I do it, it makes my life a lot better. Pretty much what we see here on the screen is a really ugly Google sheet that has a bunch of weekdays and a bunch of white space. And this is what we call a time audit sheet. The point of a time audit and actually doing a time audit is getting a transparent view on how you are spending your time, what you are actually doing through your days and how much you're doing. Because a lot of us, like I said, might feel productive during the day and yeah, I do this and I grind and I grind. Then actually the same person does a time audit and they say that they actually only work 5 hours a day and most of that 5 hours is actually spent on things that don't matter. So it's a huge eye opener. And the point of a time audit is super simple and it's a super simple exercise to do. A lot of people like to overcomplicate things and have all of these fancy tools and softwares and exercises, but I like to keep it simple because when it's simple, you actually do it. So what you pretty much do is you just open a Google sheet and you create a chart like this. You have every single weekday. So what you do is every single day when you wake up, you start this time audit. You open the sheet and you start tracking what you do. So the first thing you do during the day, let's say that you check social media. You want to see what's happening in the world. You want to see what kind of DMs you have gotten. You want to see what your favorite entrepreneurs and friends are doing to check social media. And as you're doing this, you're just using a really simple stopwatch to track this. And you start doing the task and you just press start. And then you do your task, you check your social media, boom, 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 boom. And after you are finished with it, you stop it and you see how much time you spend doing it. And let's say that you spend 15 minutes checking social media. Then let's say you do the second thing. So I'm going to be talking about this from the perspective of a lead generation agency owners, because that's what we do. That's what I have done. Building B2B lead gen agencies, but no matter what kind of business you run, no matter what kind of things you're doing, it's going to be applicable for you. So let's say a lead generation agency owner, the next thing they do is they check client Slack and they spend 8 minutes doing that. And then after that, scrape leads. So they need some new leads to run their outreach on, so they scrape leads and they spend 57 minutes doing that. Then they eat lunch. Let's say they eat lunch and they spend 45 minutes doing that, and then they read book. Then let's say after reading a book, they check social media, they procrastinate a bit, they spend 4 minutes looking at TikToks, and then they do inbox management. So they actually see what leads have replied to them, they check their client campaigns, blah, 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 blah. So they do inbox management, they spend 64 minutes doing inbox management. Then they hop on sales call. So they do a sales call that's 47 minutes long. The last thing they do is they do some accounting. So they have some receipts that they need to send to their accountant, and they do 36 minutes of that. That's their Monday. Total work hours, almost 5 hours work done. Then again, the next day, basic stuff. And that's how they spend their Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So in total, they work 17 hours during these 3 days, and they work around 5 to 6 hours a day. Even if this is the only thing you do, you'll see a huge increase in your productivity, and you'll also see that you're spending a lot of time on really useless stuff. But the first time when I did this, bro, my mind was blown from all the useless stuff that I was doing during the day. You might think that this is what your day looks like, but if you track every single thing you do, so then it would be like replying to message from friend and then 3 minutes. I really recommend in the beginning that you track all the small things. Let's say you go to grocery store, that's 21 minutes. So in the beginning, I recommend that you track every single smallest thing you do, because that way you'll actually get a really good deep dive on your actual life. Then we have done the whole week. We have done Monday through Sunday. We actually first of all start seeing some work patterns. For example, what I see in my own time audit is I have these like 10-hour days, and then the next day is always like 3-hour days. Then I have a 10-hour day, a 3-hour day, 10-hour day, 3-hour day. Really, like, it's just my natural flow. I don't even do it purposely, but that's just how my life tends to go. So it's always good to also see those patterns. Then what we do is we take all of these tasks and we paste them here under the time audit, and we do this for the whole week. So we do every single task that we have ever done. This is really where a lot of the leverage comes from this exercise. So we need to categorize these tasks. So what we do is we have 6 different categories that these tasks fit in. And here it's really important that you are really honest with yourself with these tasks and really, really transparent. You need to think about it like it's not your life. You're looking from outside perspective. You're pretty much consulting someone else. You're doing this exercise for someone else. You don't want to get emotionally attached to these tasks, because some tasks are things that, okay, it's really fun to do, but you just need to get rid of it. We categorize all of these tasks into 6 different things. First of all, if it's a high leverage task, we put $signs next to the task. If it's a low leverage task, so pretty much the difference between high leverage and low leverage task is both tasks create money, but the high leverage task just does it exponentially more. And also the difference between, for example, a sales call and creating a LinkedIn post. Sales call creates a lot of money, and LinkedIn post, yeah, it brings on some leads and it's some lead gen, but it's not a huge needle mover unless you have like 1 million followers on LinkedIn. Otherwise, it's more of a low leverage task. Then if it's that task that we can completely get rid of, you categorize it into category D, you delegate it. If it's something that you can completely get rid of, so once again, if we are honest to ourselves, if we know that this is not mandatory for us to do, we need to eliminate it. If it's something that needs to be done, it needs to be done by you. It can't be automated and it can't be eliminated. We need to schedule it. So there are things like, for example, going to the gym or going to the bank. It needs to be done by you and it's mandatory to do, but it's something that we want to schedule for later on, so we don't spend our most productive and focused hours that we have on doing that task. And then the last thing is if it's something that we can automate. Based on your own automation skills and skills with doing automation workflows, we want to see if we can actually automate this task. Then we pretty much categorize all of these tasks into these different tasks. So for example, let's take the high leverage task. So what could be high leverage here? Eating lunch, reading a book, social media, inbox management, sales calls. Sales calls are definitely high leverage. So we want to definitely categorize that with the dollar symbols. Okay, accounting, social media, watching YouTube video, client meetings, setting our domains, checking emails, lunch, writing campaigns. If you run a lead generation agency, writing campaigns is definitely high leverage because it makes a lot of money, especially if you're working on performance, inbox management, networking call, writing a LinkedIn post, watching YouTube, writing new campaigns, boom, and personalized Loom follow-ups, definitely a high leverage task. Amazing. As you can see, only 4 things from all of the tasks we did during those 3 days were actually high leverage tasks. Then we do the same, but for low leverage tasks. So what are tasks that actually generate some money into our bank account? Inbox management, definitely a low leverage task because it generates money, but it doesn't generate huge amounts. Inbox management, writing a LinkedIn post, those are all low leverage tasks. Then we take D for delegate. What things can we actually hire out to other people? What can someone else do for us? So okay, scraping leads, definitely something that someone else can be trained on. Eating a lunch, no one can really eat a lunch for you. Inbox management, okay, this is also a crossroad thing. There might be low leverage tasks and high leverage tasks that can be done by someone else. So the only question that you need to take into consideration here is, okay, how well can they do it? Can they do it better than me with proper training? And can I actually afford hiring it out? So for example, inbox management, you can get a really good full-time inbox manager for $700 a month. Like actually a solid one. The goal here is to spend our time in the best possible way. So if there's a task that someone else can do for you, even if it's a low leverage task, or even if it's a high leverage task, but someone else can do it as good or maybe even better than you, it's definitely worth hiring it out and delegating it. Then accounting could definitely be delegated. Setting up domains, a painful task. You know, if you run a lead gen agency, can take a lot of time. Checking emails, definitely could be done by someone else. Writing campaigns. If you think about, for example, writing campaigns or sales calls, these are also tasks that can be hired out by someone else. But here's where nuance comes into play. For example, writing campaigns, it is not as simple as doing inbox management. So the training process of it is going to be way harder. So I wouldn't delegate it just yet. Writing a LinkedIn post can definitely be delegated. Scraping leads, boom. Setting up domains, boom, can be delegated. Going to a grocery store, this can also be delegated. It depends a bit where you live. But for example, here in Tallinn and pretty much in every single place where I have lived in the past 12 months, you have apps like food delivery apps on your phone where you can actually order your groceries from, and it costs like €3 extra to order groceries. It doesn't really make sense for you to spend time on going to the grocery store where you can spend extra €3 to get the exact same groceries delivered to your door. Then we have E for eliminate. What things can we actually get rid of? Checking social media, easy to get rid of, 100%. Unless social media is your job, you can get rid of it. And also, let's say you're a content creator, let's say you get a lot of leads from LinkedIn. It doesn't mean that you need to actually check LinkedIn. You can just create the post. In most cases, there's no benefit for you to actually scrolling through LinkedIn to create good LinkedIn posts. So 100% we can eliminate that. Reading a book, I wouldn't eliminate it for sure. Good task to have in your life. It helps you recover, it helps you focus, helps you get more information. Social media, eliminate it. Watch YouTube video, eliminate it. Networking call. Once again, like if you are below 30K a month, what is really the point of networking? You can't really deliver any value to anyone. So you can't really meet that valuable people. Someone might disagree. You can for sure have some good connections. But if you are just trying to spend our time in the most profitable manner, let's get rid of the networking call, watching YouTube, replying to a message from a friend. It's good to keep in touch with your friends. Last two things, scheduling and automating. What things have to be done by us and we can't get rid of? Checking client Slack, definitely. Eating lunch, read a book, accounting, gym, yes. Client meetings, yes. Lunch, once again, yes. And replying to a message from a friend, yes. And the last thing is automate. Okay, then we go through all of these tasks and see if there's something that we can automate from this. And we don't want to automate the things that we eliminate already. If you eliminate something, you get rid of it completely. But let's see. Checking client messages can't really be automated. Scraping leads can't really be automated. Eating lunch, reading a book can't be automated. Inbox management can't really be automated. Accounting, yes. Depending on your accounting structure, you can definitely automate it. This is what we did. Gym, watching, writing a LinkedIn post could be automated if you use AI, but it's not really worth it because the content is going to be shit. So now we have gone through all of our tasks and we have seen what we can actually automate, what is high leverage, what is low leverage, what can be delegated, what can be eliminated, what can be scheduled. So then we get rid of everything that can be eliminated. Then we take all of the high leverage things and we put them here. Amazing. Then we take the low leverage things. Then we put everything that we can delegate into another section. Then we take everything that we schedule and put it in another section. And then we take the one thing that can actually be automated and we put it here on another section. Now we have our plan for our coming weeks. Then pretty much what you do is you take your time audit and you take the highest leverage tasks and you schedule them in first to ensure that you have time to do them, and you do them the first thing when you have the highest leverage focus in your day. So what you do is, okay, writing personalized like sales calls. You put a slot for sales calls. All of your sales calls are going to be handled during this time period. I know that, yeah, sales calls are something that are pretty hard to schedule, but let's say that every single day we do our sales calls in the morning because that's when you have the highest energy possible, and you would do this for every single day here. Then what we do when we have already scheduled our sales calls in, writing campaigns is clearly a high leverage thing. So we're going to do our campaign writing during this, boom, writing campaigns, and we're going to do them 3 times a week. Do our campaign writing here, write campaigns, boom, we write our campaigns. Then personalized Loom follow-ups are the last high leverage thing that we didn't already have. So we're going to do our personalized Loom follow-ups. Let's say we do sales calls in the morning. So let's say we do our personalized Loom follow-ups here. Then what do we have next? Writing a LinkedIn post. This could be delegated, this could be automated, but we already have a lot of things we want to delegate. And if it's the first time when you're actually delegating something and hiring something out, maybe we want to do the LinkedIn post writing ourselves. So we do it the next thing. So we do it here, 30 minutes. Write LinkedIn post, and let's say we want to do it every single day because that's how we actually grow on social media and get leads. Amazing. So we have our LinkedIn post writing scheduled in. Then these are the things that we are going to delegate. So these are something that we don't have scheduled in, and then these are the only things that are left in our calendar. So checking client Slack. So let's say that every single day We check our client Slack at 5. We hit the gym every single day at this time. And let's say it's gonna take us 2 hours to hit the gym because we need to travel there, etc. So we do gym 4 times a week. Then eating a lunch. We can schedule lunch in here. Boom. And then we have read a book, reply message to a friend, client meeting. So client meetings are something that we for sure want to take into consideration. So we can have a slot here, or we can take our client meetings here. So for example, we have time here for client meetings and client meetings. Of course, depending on how many clients you have, you might need to change some things around and you need to drop a client meeting here, but it doesn't matter because we are scheduling them last thing on our schedule. And then we can also check replying message to a friend and reading a book. Okay, we have a lot of free time here. We have our evenings free and we have a lot of time in the mornings, so we can do whatever we want during those days. Of course, like once again, there's a lot of nuance. You might want to eat lunch at a certain time. You might want to eat dinner at certain times. You might want to hit the gym late evening or in the middle of the day. Maybe you want to wake up at 7 a.m. So then it's going to change a bit, but this is just an example. And now we have a calendar that is really optimized for our performance. Of course, there's once again a lot of things that are going to change. Let's say that, okay, we have a 2-hour slot for sales calls every single beginning of the day. But let's say that during Wednesdays and Thursdays, we don't have sales calls that we can run them. Then we need to spend this time on something else that is high leverage. So maybe we can write more campaigns. So writing campaigns is high leverage. Here we can write next week's LinkedIn posts or maybe training inbox manager. But now we have a schedule that we can just follow and we know that everything we are doing is actually going to be worth our time. We know that we are really optimizing our time spent for high leverage and we are not spending our time on stuff that doesn't matter at all. Then the only thing we need to do is we need to just figure out how to automate accounting, what kind of Zapier flow we need to build to actually automate the accounting task that we need to do, and then we need to just delegate these things. And this is an exercise that everyone should do no matter what step in your journey you are, figuring out how you actually spend your time, then taking your calendar and actually scheduling out your day based on what is the highest leverage things for you to do and making sure you actually get those things done. Because if you don't have it in the calendar or if you don't have it in your to-do list, the chances are that you actually spend the time on something else where you actually lose leverage. And the most important thing is that you keep doing this every 60 to 90 days because your business changes, your life changes, everything changes in your life. So if you keep doing this every single 90 days, you actually always keep the higher leverage and higher leverage and higher leverage. So for example, right now, the highest leverage thing you can do is writing campaigns or personalized Loom follow-ups. But maybe something else comes to your business and you actually figure out doing another form of outreach or maybe figure out something that is more higher leverage. So it's important that we keep this thing up to date. So we actually always are optimizing for the highest leverage thing we can do and maybe figure out, okay, personalized Loom follow-ups. Now we are good enough and we understand the process better enough that we can actually get rid of it and we can have someone else do it. Or checking client Slack. Maybe we are already doing 20K a month, 15K a month. We can actually hire an account manager for $1,000 a month so we can get rid of the client meetings and checking client Slack completely. So we can once again update the time audit and update our schedule, and this way we'll always be doing the highest leverage thing that we actually can do. If you enjoyed, drop me a like, and if you have seen a few of my videos already, drop me a subscribe. That would be highly appreciated. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.